is Eugenio Ordóñez, and I really appreciate that you are here. We are about to start the training for using the Little Bridge platform. We have been invited by the local state coordination. So the information I have is that you are English teachers and you work with 6th grade. So the session is as follows. And first, we are going to introduce what is the use of the platform. The session is going to be divided like in 3 parts. So I'm not sure how long did it tell you that the session is going to last, but we're going to be working around 2 hours. And we are going to do a couple of breaks, so you need to be sure of that. Rules, please. Number 1, if you are not participating, please turn off your microphones. If it's okay with you, you can open your cameras. You can see me, but basically I'm going to be showing the presentation through using a PowerPoint. So I kindly suggest you please try to turn off your microphones in case you are not using that. So I'm going to be stopping from time to time if you have questions. We have 2 ways. One, it's I'm going to stop at a certain point, and you will need your username and your password. We have the information that you receive your username and password. So in a part of the presentation, we're going to need the username and password for the platform. Okay, so thank you very much. If you have questions, I'll be stopping and in different moments so we can do that. Okay, so let's go. So please let me know. And if at some point you don't see my presentation, because I still helping people to enter. So sorry. All right, very good. So here we are. So the platform is it's called Little Bridge, and I'm going to explain what is the name, what is the purpose of this platform. So it's for English teachers again that work with students, especially in 6th grade. That's the information we have now. So the platform, as I mentioned, it's called Little Bridge. And I need to explain you why it is called Little Bridge, because according to the program, the approach that you are using is based on a context. So Little Bridge is going to be mentioned many times because Little Bridge, it's a small community and small village in England. And what we have there is people who live there and who are the participants of the community. So it's super important to take care of why is Little Bridge, who are the people in Little Bridge, and what they do. They have family, etc., etc. So it's super important to keep notice of that. So that's why we call it Little Bridge. So we belong to a company that is called Maniaco. That's we are representing this afternoon. So question number 1. Please type on the chat box the answer to the following question. I'll wait for about a minute to see your answers. So the question is, how many platforms do you know for learning or teaching English? So please help us and write your answers, your comments in the chat box, please. Okay, if anybody wants, let me see. Okay, ABBA Academy, 2, 3, English, LSL, Zoom, Kahoot, yes, 2, Quizlet, Google Suite, Meet, Zoom, Kahoot, all right, Classroom. Okay, I think some of them are WordWall. Yes, I love WordWall, it's very good. Udemy, Teams, I think Teams, Zooms, etc. They are used to help us. But I mean like a platform where you can find contents according to the age of your students or according to the age of the group of students you are using. Teams is it's a tool. Okay, Cynthia says I only know like who Duolingo. Yes, Duolingo is it's more close to what we see. Messenger is a help. WhatsApp is a helper, but it's not exactly a platform. Well, Little Bridge, it's a platform, and in this platform, what we have it's many tools, many resources. So I'm going to play a video so you can start knowing what Little Bridge is.
Little Bridge is a fully mobile solution that is introducing machine learning to enable a fully personalized and targeted English language learning experience for every child. Little Bridge uses a research-backed social approach to give children a sense of purpose in their learning. Every child can customize their page in Little Bridge and present their personal profile to the fully moderated Little Bridge community, where they can meet new friends from around the globe and use the English they are learning. Little Bridge encourages children to practice regularly by introducing them to recommended friends and by rewarding them for success in their messaging. And every child has local language support from their Little Bridge study buddy. Little Bridge activities are designed to reinforce key language points and to achieve defined objectives. They are delivered to each child according to the Little Bridge lesson they are currently completing. The activities include games, songs, puzzles, stories with audio, and listening and speaking practice, all designed to present new language and consolidate learning. Children receive rewards for success in the activities, and they can check their achievements anytime. They can see how their friends are doing too. The teacher selects the lesson for their class from a menu inside the teacher dashboard, and it will directly appear in each child's activity menu to ensure his or her learning pathway is clear. Each lesson plan is available to view and download and is designed to help every teacher deliver effective lessons with hints and tips to maximize success. If the teacher prefers, they can opt to let Little Bridge automatically deliver a sequence of activities to their class, with students required to achieve a definable score in order to move from one activity to the next. Teachers can track all of their students' activity and progress in Little Bridge via the teacher dashboard and create insightful reports. Parents can also follow their child's progress in Little Bridge using the parent dashboard, so everyone can see how well children are learning English with Little Bridge. Little Bridge learning content is fully aligned with international standards, including Cambridge Young Learners tests and the Common European Framework. With Little Bridge, teachers get full control and visibility on their students' learning journey. Parents can easily follow their child's progress, and children are guided through the learning content by their teachers or machine learning, and can access a safe social community to start practicing their English skills right away. Little Bridge, learning together.
Okay, so this is a very, very quick summary of what Little Bridge is. A very kind suggestions. Okay, very good, teacher. At some point, you cannot listen to it, just try to type me a message to help you. And again, please turn on your microphones, because sometimes you receive a phone call and it's not quite kind to be listening to your conversations. So please.
Little Bridge is a fully mobile solution that is introduced.
So this is the introduction. So how connect the company, how Little Bridge connected to the program that is called Aprendizajes Clave. So it is related to the program. I'm going to show you how we did a very important job relating how it matches with the program. I'm sure you are familiar with that. You know that my idea is not to give you a lesson about the cycles of Prony, because you are much an expert than me. I worked with Prony many years ago, since Prony started, but now you are experts in Prony. So the cycles are 1, 2, 3, and I don't have to explain you this diagram because I am sure you are really familiarized with it. So the methodology is just a kind reminder. And here is the first connection that we have with the platform Little Bridge. So we have organizadores curriculares that is there. And then super important, because this is another great connection with the platform, we have the social learning environments. We have 3 and we're gonna see them in a minute. And the biggest connection is the communicative activities. Remember that the approach for the program says that you need not only to teach the resources, the linguistic resources that we used to call vocabulary, but what you need to do is to help the students to use them. That's what we call a communicative activities. This is in Spanish, but because this is the way it comes in the program. So here is the biggest connection that we have with the program. In Little Bridge, we have a section that is called communicative activities. And of course, and that's the other big connection, is with the achievements, what you expect. And especially with achievements, you need to pay attention to the verbs, because in the verbs, you know what the students have to do, what they need to do. All right, very good. Questions 2 and 3. We have question 1, you type it on the chat box. Now let's go to questions 2 and 3. So let's go with question number 2. Type it on the chat box. You have the question, type it on the chat box, please. Okay. Answer for question number 2 in the chat box. Answer for the chat. Answers, no answers. Nobody remembers the approach. No? What is approach that you use in the social TPR? No. What is the approach? It's super basic, super important. I'm sure you know it. I know it's afternoon, it's a Thursday, it's almost Friday. Project-based, no. No, another couple of answers. That's super important, because from there we are going to do many other things with that. Improve skills in English, no. Okay, another answer. Come on. Communicative, the communicative approach is like the uncle. Because the new approach is like the newest. It's part of communicative. Yes, you're right. Social practice of the language. Very good. Okay, let's see what the program says. That's the answer. Here you are the answer. That's the answer. I'm going to read it in Spanish. I'm sorry about my Spanish and of course my English. La propuesta curricular de lengua extranjera, inglés, adopta un enfoque de acción centrado en las prácticas sociales. It means communicative activities. It's very close to Little Bridge. That's why we like working with that, because in the platform, you need to help the students to use the language, to help how they can practice the language there. Question number 3. Again in the chat box, please. And again, I read you in the chat box. I read you. SPL stands for social practices of the language, what they are expected to do, what happens with them, not which are them. So what students are expected to do in a social practice of the language. Okay, let's see. To put language in a social context. Very good, Juan Miguel, Jose Miguel, I don't know. Yes, to use in a context. That's exactly what happens. And of course, one of the disadvantages, at least in some parts of the country, I'm not sure, it depends on the area you live in. Sonora is super big, and I am sure that there are teachers that live across the border or in the south that is not that close to the border. Let's see what more research did. What is the answer from the program? Here you go. That's the answer. Communicative interaction, right? So what is in the center is the learning. So what is this? How you translate that, how you put that, that whatever part of the language, it means a word, a phrase, a chunk of the language, it's the center. It's not related to vocabulary. It's related to a context, as I'm sure you know how it happens. So which are the three environments? Very quickly, you know all of them: the familiar and the community. That is, these are the interchanges that you need to do. I'm going here super fast because you are experts. I don't want to stop here just to make you sure that we review, we analyze what the program says. So this is the first social environment. And basically this is what you can do a little bit in your context, in your classroom. You can bring information, previous knowledge to the classroom, and then you can ask the students to do and to use that language. So what is the following one? So an example of what happened in Little Bridge is that we need people. And this is an advice. You need to know the people who live in Little Bridge. So I'm going to introduce the people that later, when you do a short practice that I'm going to give some time for you to practice, I'm going to introduce them and try to remember who they are. The first one is Rose. Who's this? This is Rose. Who's this? This is Mrs. Mackenzie. So these people are going to start appearing on the platform, and you, of course, and later your children need to be familiarized the way they dress, the hair color, etc., the likes and dislikes. Why? Because they live in that community that I explained you, that is Little Bridge. So Mrs. Mackenzie, then we have Mr. Miller, because it's an English platform. You will listen, Mr. Miller, but in the exercises you can change, as I will show you, to American English. No problem at all. That's Matthew, and this is Lizzie. So when you see how you are going to introduce these characters to your children, it's super important that they know them, because it's not about Michael Jordan or The Weeknd or anybody. It's people in the platform who lives there, and they need to be familiarized with their names and what they do, etc., etc. So another environment that I'm sure you know, it's called ludic and literary. So stories, games, as you remember, there are lots of games there. So basically, we try not to call them activities, we call them games, because one of the principles of the platform is called gamification. I'm sure you know gamification and how it works, and I'm going to explain how, especially this area of ludic expression, it's a very important part in the platform. And here, this part that comes in this environment, the comprensión del yo y del otro, me and the others, that's why they need to know people. Of course, later they are going to offer information not only about them, not only about people in Little Bridge, but they can offer information about their family and so on. So let's see. Let's start with an activity. I'm going to play a song that is in the platform. If I'm going to click, but there's an example of what you can see. Please tell me if when you start watching and listening to the video. Okay. Can you see some music? Can you hear some music, please? Anybody who can say me yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let's go down to Little Bridge. Come on, let's go down and find out who's around.
Let's go down to Little Bridge. Let's go to the park. Come on, let's go down and find out who's around. Let's go down to Little Bridge. Let's go to the park. Let's go to the shop. Let's go to the school. Come on, let's go down and find out who's around.
Okay, so this is part of the song that we have in Little Bridge. So I'm going to show you how it works when you have your username and your password, right? Okay, very good. Let's continue. So what is next on this presentation? Okay, so we have the third environment, Académico de Formación, where they see more instructional things like following a recipe if they are first or second grade, and the achievements are starting to improve as they are going up and up in the upper grades. So we did an analysis of the program. We considered how the program is structured, and then we came out to identify the communicative activity, what they ask us in the social practice of the language, and then the achievements. And then we did a match according to the European framework of language. So remember that the European framework is the one who validates the program that we are using. And the platform, and this is super important, the platform does not give numbers. And why it doesn't give numbers? It tells you how students are improving, how students are developing the language, but it will never give you a number, because if any platform gives you a number, it's not related to the European framework. Why? The European levels by numbers. You have level A1, A2, B, B2, etc., etc. So I just wanted to put this here in order to connect when we talk about how the platform assesses the students. All right, so this is the first part. Let's go to the second part. How is the structure for you as a teachers? Part 1. As a teachers, you're going to receive a link. I'm going to show you in a minute. How is the link for you as a teachers? There are different links. One is for the teachers and the other is for the students. This is for you as a teacher. So you will, we call it Teacher's Dashboard. The Teacher's Dashboard, this is the sequence you need to follow. Number 1, you need a link. And this is the link. I'm gonna paste it later in the chat box. So with your username and your password, you will have access. Let me explain you first the slides, and I'll give you a couple of minutes so you can enter with your username and your password. So this is the first thing after you put your username and password, this is what happens. This is what you are going to be seeing every time you enter in the part as a teacher. So there are 4 circles. Let me explain you one by one. The first circle, it tells you how many activities have your students done. It depends on the number of the groups that you have, but every time you can, you're going to have a session for all your groups in case you have different groups, and it will tell you how many students are there, right? So, and how many activities they have done, that's important too. So then we have how many digipals do your students have. I'm going to introduce a very important part, especially because you are 6th grade teacher. So I'm sure you are going to be using this social network that belongs to this platform that is called Digipal. So there is how many digipals they have and what they can do. Then how many messages have they exchanged? And in the future, or if you decide along with your coordination that you can check with other students, my suggestion when I present that is that I suggest that first start exchanging information with the students from the same school, then with the students from other schools. So how many messages they have sent, and how many countries from your students have digipals in. So this is the first. We're going to concentrate here first in this part. How many activities, but what activity? Let's continue. So this is the menu. I'm going to explain you and then I'm going to show you one by one. So the first is...
Con una bola o dos bolas.
Sorry, somebody has the microphone on.
Please turn off your microphones.
Si hay hojas blancas, pues con...
Por favor, apaguen su micrófono todos, nada, doctor.
Thank you very much. Sorry about that, but sometimes I cannot hear myself. I'm sorry about that. So the first part is the menu. So what is in the menu? In the menu we have, okay, this is those 3 lines. We are going to show you how you as a teacher have to be added. And then how you can, how you are going to identify your students, how you are going to have a look at your lessons, how you can create your groups. This is what you are going to be doing, how you are going to report, how you are going to generate reports about how your students are doing. And an important part is called grammar to go. So it's not that we intend that grammar is there, but for some type of learners, grammar is like when we check in a dictionary because we don't know how it is spelled or a couple of things like that, but this part important. And of course, how to log out. Okay, let's go with the first one. In the first part, teachers. So you click on the menu of teachers, and this is what appears. So here you have some names. Of course, someone in your administration has to add you as a teacher because this function is done by an administrator. So that's why here it has this version. So we are going to talk to Maestra Laura, your state coordinator, to know who is going to be working with us in order to add the teachers. And when you are there, if you use the plus sign, it means you are going to add a teacher. If you click on the pencil icon, you are going to modify some information from the teacher or something that is not correct. And if a teacher leaves, we can delete it from the platform, right? So this is how we add teachers, and we do it with the administrators. Then the second icon is for students. Let me tell you that all the students are already uploaded in the platform. So once you know your username, you need to know the code that we have used. And the code is la clave del centro de trabajo. So depending on the CCT you have been assigned, the students will be there. So the students are there. Don't worry about who is going to give me the usernames and the passwords, or if I have to create all the usernames and passwords. There is a way how you can create students, but that's in the future when you have what we call altas, when we have a new student and we have to do it on our own. So again, the same procedure. If you click on the plus sign, you can add one student. If you click on the pencil icon, you can modify one student. And if you click here, be careful, because you can delete the students and there is no way to put them back. So that's why we need the help of an administrator, because that's why all the students' passwords and usernames are already uploaded. The only thing you need is to tell you how many of those licenses, of those usernames are for you, 25, 35, 45, etc., depending on the number of students you have. Okay, now we need to go to the groups. So how many groups you have? 1, 2, 3. So you can create your groups. You click on groups, and here you are. Again, exactly the same sequence. Sexto A, Sexto B, Sexto C, or only Sexto A. It depends on how many groups you have. You have to create your groups. That's the only thing you have to do. You can create your group, and from there, you need to take the licenses. That's a process that requires practice and time. Today, we have only get you to know how you can add groups, modify groups, or delete groups. Deleting groups is not a problem. As you can see, there are here some samples of groups that have been created just for practice. Okay, our next icon is then you need to put a name of the group. In this case, Primero A, but you can put Sexto A, Sexto B, or only with numbers, etc., as you use that in your schools to identify what happens. So once you create that, you need to look for your students. And as I said, don't worry, the students are there, just someone who has an administrator a permission can help you to do that. So as you can see, we select who teachers are going to teach Primero A, maybe only one teacher, etc. So everything is there, and we are going to be helping you with that later. So we select the students. Now let's go with the teachers. Here we have the teachers, and we select, of course, only one teacher. We select a group of students and one teacher only. So, and this is important too, most of the actions in the platform, normally before you confirm, you do something, they ask you with this green icon. It doesn't matter the instruction, but it's like, are you sure? So you click and finish, and we created a group with 3 students and 1 teacher. And as I said, again, confirm. We need to confirm that we want to do that action. Si nos equivocamos and we did something wrong, of course, we can go back and change maybe the group of the name of the group, or maybe not only 3 students, but maybe more, or maybe I assigned the wrong teacher. So before confirming, you can review what you have created. You click confirm, and the platforms tell you that you have done that. Okay, now you have your group, you have your class. The platform has 6 levels, and if your students have studied English since 1st grade, it's going to be a little easier, but the decision is yours. Our suggestion from the company, from the platform, is that you review the levels in the platform and then review the level of your students. And if you consider that level 6 is suitable for your students, go ahead. But if you think that is level 4, level 3, etc., well, it's up to you. The platform does not force you to work with a specific level. It's the teacher the one who decides which level he is going to use. So step number 1, you have created students and teachers. Let's see how lessons work. We check the school because maybe you work in 2 schools. You check the class because maybe it's a different grade in a different school. So you have to be sure. So we selected this school, we selected this class, and please do this. I want to assign lessons myself. If you put this, what happens is that the platform is going to be sending the lessons even if the students have not studied a specific lesson. So you need to click on here. I want to assign lessons myself. So the process is as follows. You ask the platform to allow you to select the lesson, to study it, to review it, to analyze it. Okay, so here we are. I want to assign the lesson myself. So, number 1, visit the activities. With this eye, este es un ojito, aunque parezca otra cosa, this is an eye icon. So when you enter and choose a lesson, you are here. It means the platform is going to allow you to visit the activities, the digital activities. So you click, and then the activities of that lesson, in this case, the lesson is called What's Your Name? So You view the activities, but just the image does not do it nothing. But when you click on the image is going to take you to the platform. And you are going to review the language that it is there. If you think that your students already know that, you say, no, esta lección es súper fácil para mis alumnos, I'm going to look for another one. That's your decision. But you say, okay, this is okay, but activity 2 maybe is difficult. So you need to work before with your students assigning a lesson. That's the sense of visiting the activities. Here, I cannot do that because it's a slide, but you can do it on the platform, as you will see in a minute. So visit activity 1, visit activity 2, visit activity 3, and you say, oh, yeah, my students can do this. So I know that, but now how? Every one of us has your own style of teaching. You know how to teach. But here, good news, we have a plan designed for you. That is not compulsory. It's up to you. Actually, the platform it's another tool, like many tools I'm sure you have, especially now in this time of the pandemic or the pandemic time, where you need to, I'm sure you have learned a lot of things about how to work online. So you click on this icon and you visit the plan. And the plan is in a sequence, and we have divided the plan in different sessions. I'm going to show you in a minute how you can download the plan, and you can read it and review it and say, oh, it's a structure. It's every lesson is planned for 45 minutes, but it's up to you whether it depends on the number of sessions you have during the week with your students. So as an example, you have here unit, the lesson, the learning outcomes, aprendizajes esperados, the grammar, but not because we want you to teach grammar with the students. The grammar is for you as a teacher, to be sure that that's the grammar part that you are going to be reviewing. And then it comes another part of where the summary of the plan, and then the third part is the plan step by step. We're going to visit the plan in a minute. So every plan has extra materials. So if the plan says, van a tener que utilizar este printable, the printable is there. You don't have to create it. The only thing that the platform asks from you is your initiative, your imagination, but you can follow the instructions and say, aquí me dice que le haga así, do it in that way. But if you have more experience, and I'm sure you have, change it. But connect it to the program, because at any point it's connected with your program. So the plans and the extra materials are downloadable, and means you can put it in your computer.
La puerta ahí porque ocupo escuchar esto.
And here you are. You visit the plan. You click there, and the plan is going to be downloaded into your computer. You can keep it digital, o si son como yo, que a veces pues todo lo necesitamos impreso, well, you print it. But it's up to you. You don't have to print it. And now if you are working online, and if you have the way to send the material to the students, do it. Or you need to find a way how you are going to show you on an online session, right? Perfect. Well, so far, we have seen how you can add a teacher, how you can create your groups, how you can add students in case you need to do that. And the important thing is how you can review your plan. You have not taught yet. This is the preparation time. Everything is in the platform. And why is this in this way? Because the one who decides what to teach, what to work with the students is you. Nobody's going to tell you, como son de sexto, todos van a trabajar la unidad 25. And what about those students who have not studied English before? So even if it is possible for you, for those ones who have already a nice level, you can assign different it's It's not compulsory that everyone is in lesson 1, level 1, because for 6th graders can be boring. Neither for everybody 6th grades, 6th level, because it can be complicated, especially if you have new students that maybe have had no contact before with the language. So all this process that I have shown you in order to review the lesson plan has to be done before sending the class. Once you analyze the class, once you analyze the materials, etc., y dicen, este nivel 3 es el que les queda, mi chavos, lo van a hacer súper bien. I don't have to tell them level 5 or level 6 because maybe it's too difficult. So once you analyze that, once you have your plan, you teach the class. And then when you teach the class, when you finish, now after you teach the class, you come back to the platform, you send the lesson to the students, and they will practice and learn. That's an important part of the process. So you cannot send them a lesson unless you have taught the lesson. Right? Okay. You select the lesson, and then it changes, porque este cuadrito estaba en gris. But now you have taught the lesson, you have practiced with your students, and now you selected and it changes into like purple or pink or something. And here you are. Si le dan clic ahí, la lección ya se va para sus chicos. And there is no way that you put it back. So remember, it depends on you what lesson you are going to choose for your students. ¿Y qué significa el verde? It's like, are you sure? Again, everything is in green. If you click next step confirm, it means that you are super sure. There is no way back to do that. Okay, so the last section is grammar to go.
Dame un chocolate ahí y dame la sal.
Explanations in case you need them, in case it's for you, or you consider that for some of the students it's okay.
¿Te comiste los otros, ah?
Not for...
Maestro, por favor, apague su micrófono. Se está escuchando todo lo que habla. No sé quién será.
I'm sorry, teachers.
Ingenio, perdón.
Here,
¿Puede usted hacerlo ahí directamente, de apagar los micrófonos?
Give me a second. I'll try to do it. Sorry, teacher.
Somebody is eating and taking care of children.
I know sometimes it's difficult, but...
yes, it's difficult.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay, so you enter into the grammar section. There are very short videos about grammar that may be for you, but also for some of your students, because maybe some of your students need a grammar explanation, but not for everybody. I don't recommend that you play a video with grammar explanation. Eso no es para los chicos, es más para los teachers, que de repente nos hace falta. I mean, we need to study. I mean, English is there, but sometimes goes away, and I forget how to do it, and it gives us example. It's there for you, but in some cases, very few cases, could be also for your students. So please be careful. This section is for you. All right, very good. I'm going to stop sharing. Questions and answers, teachers. If you have a question, you can open your microphone and tell me, or we can pass into the practice part. You tell me. You tell me. ¿Me fui por rápido? I'm sorry about my English. My English is not good. I started really learning the language when I was very old, 27. Some of you are not even now 27, and you already speak much better than me, so I'm sorry about my accent. My accent is from the north, pero del norte del Estado de México, because I'm from Atlacomulco, not from the north of the country. So I live in the state of Mexico, and I have questions. Tell me if you have questions. If you don't have questions, y no es una amenaza, I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes to practice. So think about it. If you don't have questions, let me share with you in the chat box the link as a teacher. 1 second, teachers. So.
I have a question.
Sure, shoot it.
You mentioned a social network when you were explaining about the teacher's dashboard.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
yeah.
So it's easy to get it. Is it easy to get it? To get this social network?
Sure. It's like the third part of my presentation. So don't worry, we are not yet there.
Okay. Thank you.
But good question. So it's there and it's very easy. And with the same username and password, even you can create like a social networks with teachers to practice, because that's the purpose of that. So even if you have questions, I'm gonna put in the chat box the link. So here is the link. So click it, and with your username and password that was provided, as that's the information I have, enter and play around in the platform. Please, so that's the link. I am going to be here. I'm going to give you exactly for 10 minutes to practice, and maybe less. 10 minutes, I'm sorry, because we have a very short session and we have to cover all the topics. 10 minutes, so in about 9 minutes, I'm going to be here. I'm not going away. So if you have questions, you can open your microphone and ask me, and or type your questions in the chat box. I'm going to check the attendance. Besides, you are doing that as part of my responsibilities as a trainer, and as a good teacher, I have to check attendance. So please, when you hear your name, you say present, and you open your camera, so at least I know I'm working with someone. So, okay, very good. Practice. Just play around. You don't have to do anything. Just enter, play, click, etc., and try to see if what I said makes sense now that you are practicing. All right? Leonora Sarbiela.
Here, present.
Thank you.
Aquí estoy.
Okay, thank you. Jacqueline Valderas.
Here, present.
Thank you. Javier Iván. Belém Judith.
I'm here. Hi.
Thank you. José Miguel.
Present.
Thank you, José Miguel. Thank you. All right. Elizabeth Medina.
Here.
Thank you. Elizabeth Montijo. Leticia Moreno.
Present. Here.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you. Appreciate that. Right. Blanca Idalia.
Here, present.
Thank you. Ana Carolina. Blanca Celina. Marta Leticia.
Present. Marta Leticia, present.
Thank you, teacher.
Ana Carolina, present.
Ana Carolina?
Yes.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you. Yeah, I got it. Thank you. Guadalupe Saraí. Has even 2 access code, I suppose she has the previous. Jocelyn Aguilera.
Present.
Thank you. Rosa Guadalupe is asking me if I have the password. Give me a second. I'll try to get it because I have 75, so it's not. Maria Fernanda.
Present.
Maria Fernanda. Thank you.
Here.
Thank you. Blanca Gardenia. Melissa Berenice. Fedra Mauden.
Blanca, ¿sí me escuchó?
Present.
Sorry.
Okay. Blanca Gardenia.
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you. Yeah. Melissa Berenice, María Fernanda. María Fernanda, sí. María Guadalupe García.
Present.
Roberto Gómez.
Present.
Thank you, teacher. Verónica Annette.
Present.
Thank you. Oscar Hurtado.
Here, Oscar Hurtado here.
Thank you, teacher. César Alonso.
Here.
Thank you, teacher. Okay, Bianca Viviana, sorry. Bianca Viviana.
Present.
Thank you. Okay, llevamos 25. In the next break, I'm going to check the following ones. Okay, who's asking me for the password? Rocío Guadalupe. Oh, wow. Okay, give me a second. Rocío Guadalupe. Sí. Rocío Guadalupe González Gil. ¿Sí?
Sí.
Okay, thank you. Your password is 229034. Lo repito. Rocío Guadalupe González Gil, password 229034.
Maestro, disculpe.
Yes.
Creo que ya pasó su nombre, Elizabeth Montijo Nevares.
Elizabeth, entonces déjenme lo revisar. Elizabeth.
Sorry.
No problem. Elizabeth. Ya la registré, teacher. Thank you.
Teacher Edgar Castro, please.
Not yet, I think not yet, teacher.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Voy en la tercera.
Teacher Héctor Guerrero.
Not yet. Apenas pasé 25, en el siguiente break hago otros 25 and so on. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you. Okay, how's it going? Are you able to log in? Okay, Jacqueline Valderas, that's a big challenge. Okay. Jacqueline Valderas, let me see if I find you. Yeah, I found you. Let's put it in the chat box, Jacqueline. Oops. Wait, please. Y luego le pongo acá. Yeah, there is a reason I cannot. Okay, I'm gonna check. Okay. Okay, very good, teacher Betty. That's a very good question. And if you have problems with accessing, I'm going to give you an email. So don't worry, because I mean, there is not much time. And actually, we run out of time. And just to give an idea, and if at the end of the session you want to stay, I can share with you your passwords, but I cannot do that for everyone because so part domain one is you have now a sense of the platform. You have access to the platform a little bit. It's not easy. So you have 5 minutes break. We go back in 5 minutes. I'm going to stay here, but this is definitely a break. I'll start sharp at 4 your time, 5 my time. So you have 5 minutes break. So 5 minutes, please, break. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to be here trying to help you. Dulce Lopez, let me see.
Un punch man. Ma, tú eres un cachete lleno de besos. Rayon.
Yes, you cannot assign a lesson because you don't have students yet. That's why you still cannot have access, assign a lesson.
Hello, I have a question. It's
Sure.
because I already logged in, but I'm looking in a part of school. The school that is there is not mine. So maybe it's a system problem, or can I just type it? I don't know.
Don't do that on the platform yet, because you will find two things. That maybe the username and the password, the username especially that is composed by numbers and your CST, does not match your CST.
Okay.
Right? So doesn't match yet. So don't do any changes. Don't try to correct because maybe it's wrong. That's why we have to check with you one by one at the end of the lesson, the session. I'm going to stay here for about half an hour, just especially for usernames and passwords. Just the idea that you know how to log in, please, teachers.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go back. We have our 5 minutes break. And what is next? Very quick. A ver si ya les expliqué. Ya lo vieron. And now let's watch a video to see if it's true, to see what happened. Okay, again, let me know if you can. It's a video that explains, it's like a review. Okay, here you go.
Just like the student platform, you can access your teacher dashboard on any device, desktop, laptop, tablet, or smartphone. Log into your teacher dashboard using your teacher username and password. The first screen you see is the landing page. Here you can see an overview of what your students are doing in Little Bridge. This is the total number of activities your students have completed, total number of messages sent by your students, how many DigiPals your students have, and how many countries your students have DigiPals in. This is a really easy way to see the overall engagement of your students in the Little Bridge platform. Why not set some fun weekly targets? You could challenge your students to make friends in 10 new countries or complete 100 activities. There are lots of ways you can use this data to further encourage and motivate your students. Let's create some students. Click on the menu. Select Students. Here you can see a list of students. I can see their first and last names, their username, and what class they are assigned to. Now let's add a student. Click on the plus icon. Enter your student's first and last name. Select a school and class from the menus. Enter a password. Now, click on Generate New Username, and we will generate a username for your student. Make sure you make a note of this username and password so you can give it to your student. Click Save, and your new student will now appear in your list of students. Editing a student is simple. Just select a student using the checkbox. Now, click on the Edit button. You can change your student's information and generate a new username. Click Save to save the changes. Now let's delete a student. Select one or more students using the checkboxes. Click on the Delete button, confirm you would like to delete these students, and the students will be removed from your student list. Now let's look at creating, editing, and deleting teachers. Go to the menu and click on Teachers. You'll notice it looks very similar to the student list. The main difference is that you can see how many classes the teacher is assigned to and whether or not they are an admin. Adding, editing, and deleting teachers is exactly the same process as you have just seen for students. The only difference is that you need to decide whether or not to give a teacher admin access. Now we have our students and teachers. Let's put them into classes. Click on the menu and select Classes. You will see a list of classes. You can see the class name, the teacher or teachers assigned to the class, and the number of students in the class. Let's make a new class. Click on the Add button. In Step 1, you need to enter a name for the class. In Step 2, you select the students you would like to add to the class. In Step 3, you select the teacher or teachers you would like to assign to the class. Finally, you see a summary of your selection. You can go back to edit the class, or you can click Confirm to save your class. Editing a class is simple. You just select a class using a checkbox and click on the Edit button. You will now go through steps 1 to 3 again, where you can change the class name, change the students in the class, and change the teachers assigned to the class. Now we have set up our classes, let's assign a lesson. Click on the menu and select Lessons. The first step is to decide who you want to assign your lesson to. Select your school, the class, and the students you want to assign lessons to. In step 2, you can choose the lesson you want to assign. For each lesson, you can see the lesson number and title, a summary of the learning objectives, and which level and topic the lesson belongs to. There are 3 icons. The eye icon takes you to a list of thumbnails for the digital content within this lesson. You can tap on any thumbnail to open the activity in a new tab. This is perfect for when you want to demonstrate an activity to a class, or if you just want to see what content is part of this lesson. The document icon opens a PDF lesson plan in a new tab. These lesson plans contain a full 45-minute lesson that combines both the digital content and classroom activities with optional printed resources like activity sheets too. The download icon will download a zip folder of all of the printable resources, such as flashcards and activity sheets, required for the lesson, as detailed in the aforementioned lesson plan. When you have decided which lesson you would like to assign, click Select Lesson and then proceed to the final step. In step 3, you can see a summary screen. You can see the students you have selected and the lesson you are about to assign. Click Set Lesson to finish assigning the lesson. The lesson you have assigned will now appear in the student platform on the training menu. It will appear at the top of the screen in the current lesson section. Now your students are busy working on their lessons, it's time to generate a report. Click on the menu and select Reports. The first step is to decide who you want to generate a report on. Select your school and the class you want to see a report on. Select the report type. Currently, we only have lesson reports available. However, in the future, we will have additional reports too. And finally, select the lesson you would like a report on. We have simplified the report screen so you have all the information you need easily available at a glance. You can see at the top of the screen there is a summary of who the report is of and of what lesson. You can then see a list of students and their scores for the lesson. Each circle represents one activity. A green circle means the student has gotten 100% of the questions correct in this activity. An orange circle means the student has scored between 50% to 99% in this activity. A white circle means the student has not yet reached a score of 50% or they have not yet tried this activity. If you are not sure which activities these circles are referring to, just click on the View Lesson Plan button to see the PDF lesson plan. Here you can easily find information about each of the activities in the lesson. This report makes it really easy to see whether your class has mastered the skills in this lesson. If you mainly see green circles, you can confidently move on to the next lesson. If you mainly see orange or white circles, perhaps it's time for some more revision. We have now covered all the key features in the student platform and the teacher dashboard. These products are being constantly updated. We release new features, updates, and content every week. We will periodically release updated training videos to reflect this. Thank you for joining our training session, and we look forward to welcoming you in Little Bridge soon.
Okay, so this is the video we have. Now, this is a suggestion, and I'm sure there are so many questions. For most of you, this is the first time you see in action the platform. So just try to get the feeling of it. The important thing is first that your username and password works, but then you enter and play around. Remember that your students are already in the platform. We need to work with your state or regional coordinators in order to know to know who is going to be the administrator. And that administrator is going to help you to select, because the usernames and the passwords for your students are there. And since they are not connected to your CCT, we have to be very careful, right? But at least you have an idea. So I have shown you with the slides, I have shown you with a video, and you have tried a little bit on your own. Okay, just very quickly, this activity is called brain break. So when you are teaching, and the studies have proven that children and even adults cannot spend a long time in front of the computer, right? So you can stop working a little bit and ask your students to do some TPR, like stand up or sing a song or do something, etc. That what is called TPR. My brain break is gonna be a spelling contest with you. So I'm gonna show you something, and you have to type the name on the chat box, right? Ready? I'm gonna show you an object, and you have to type the name, and the first one who appears in the chat box is the winner, right? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, who was the fastest? Oh, the fastest was, okay, there are so many, but you can review it, right? It's a brain break. Okay, another. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, very good. Number 3. Careful. Okay, what was it? Adult, yeah, and specifically, Little Red Riding Hood. Yes. So that's a, thank you, very good, teacher Paula. That's a brain break. Or you can say, stand up and dance and turn around, etc., etc. That's a brain break. Sometimes the students cannot be seated for a long time, but still using English, like hop 2 times, or jump standing. It's important. Kids cannot be standing for a long, long time. That strategy that I shared with you. One of my other jobs is I'm a teacher trainer for teachers who work in preschool. That's my other job. Besides this, I train English teachers in preschool. Okay, let's continue. So next part is about students. Ahora, ¿qué vamos a hacer con los chicos? Ya aprendieron cómo le vamos a hacer con los teachers, ahora vamos con los... Y es otra liga, completamente diferente, ¿vale? El username y el password que ustedes tienen no les sirve para entrar como alumnos, se tienen que crear. Una de sus tareas, no para ahorita, es que ya que puedan entrar con su usuario y su contraseña, van a crear un alumno ficticio, ¿vale? Van a escribir el username que creen allá porque el sistema les va diciendo cómo, es para práctica nada más, just for practice. And then later, after the training, you try to enter as a student with that imaginary student. All right? All right? It's clear? Okay. But let's go. I'm going to explain very quickly. Students, I'm sure you understand. So this is the student access. It works in the same sense. What is the big difference? We have the link. So the students log in exactly the same. They have a username and a password, y que está muy parecido al de ustedes. Va a estar compuesto de la CCT and another numbers and username. Normally the passwords are numbers. For you, most of them are numbers, right? So you type it and so on. And I will let you know also when you have problems logging in, and also if your students have problems, who you can contact to in order to receive some help. So this is the first thing they are going to see. They don't see exactly what you see. Yours is more like cold, is not that attractive maybe, but this is for the students because this is for the children. What they are going to see, there is no pictures for security. We don't ask for names. We don't ask for pictures of the students. the system, Little Bridge, creates an avatar. Ese güerito que está ahí es como que el avatar común, but you are going to change it. If you, my avatar is that one, so I'm blonde, I'm blue-eyed, and so on. That's what I'm not. But that's the sense of the avatar. So kids love doing that. One of the first activities I'm going to recommend you before even teaching is to teach the kids how to create and modify the avatar, because that's fun for them. Les pueden decir, today your avatar needs glasses, needs long hair, needs brown hair, etc. Play around before even teaching, because that's the key connection. That's where we think we are going to engage the students. So when the students enter, this is the first thing they are going to see. Van a decir, ¿a poco es eso yo? So you have to explain what is the avatar, etc., etc. And someone who is going to be always there, that is Domino. Domino is a pet for Little Bridge. So Domino is going to be here, there, everywhere. And Domino is appearing, and Domino helps. Domino do many, 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 many things. So that's the first thing that the children see when they enter into their account. So that's the avatar. It's super important. So you need to show them how to play around. Si no les gusta con los balones de fútbol, you can change them for green color. There are different colors how they can do that. I'm going to show you in a minute with another account how the students work. So what they can do, they can change the wallpaper. En la esquinita, there is a, ¿cómo se llama? Brush.
Paintbrush.
A brush. So you can use it to change the wallpaper. And then I have it red, then I change it into green. And there are some other features how you can change it. It was Christmas. Now I can move it around and change it. So it has to be different. That's really fun. This is a very important and fun action for the students to be playing with. So they can do that. Also, you have to show you icon by icon. So the first one, como en todas las aplicaciones, is the home icon. If you are lost, if you don't know where you are, you just click there and you go back to the beginning. That's the home icon. And this is the domino icon. If the domino is not visible, it's like blurry, it means that the student has not done exercises every day. One of the reasons of that encouraging children to work every day is that if they work every day with an activities, even if they have done it, they can repeat activities as many times as they can. They win lingos. Remember that. And when they win lingos, then domino appears. Now it's blurry because in my account I haven't worked for a long time, so that's why it's blurry. If I work at least 2 days in a row, this flame appears and give me lingos. I'm going to tell you what lingo is in a minute. And then the globe. In the globe, you're going to, if you click there, you're going to see other kids in the world that are using Little Bridge. Not with the real names, because Little Bridge do not request or ask for real names. So you can see the countries. I'm going to show you in a minute with an account of a student. So, and lingos. What is a lingo? Lingo is a digital currency. It's imaginary currency. I mean, nobody can buy anything with lingos except the things to change the avatar, to buy more things for the likes and dislikes that appear in their avatar for the student. So every time that a student play and do the activity correctly, the platform rewards with lingos. And since the platform is based in games, the icon of a remote control for a video game is there. So that's the connection, the psychological connection that we created, the authors of Little Bridge created, so they can say, si le hago clic aquí, I'm going to the games. No a la tarea, no a las actividades, to the game. That's the word we encourage to tell you. Now go and play with English. Now practice. If you practice and practice and practice, you will have more lingos and you can do many things. So the bell is like in our cell phones or other social media. It's like when you have a notification, a number will appear there. And then for the youngers, there is a dictionary. It has the translation, but also has the pronunciation. So one of the first things you need to do with your students is to work these icons step by step, what they can do with them. I'm sure after 2 or 3 times the students will get familiarized, and sometimes it happens like us. We buy things and we don't read the instructions, so we just start clicking whatever we want, and one day we learn. But if we explain one by one, it's the best way to use it properly and to take advantage of all the tools that Little Bridge has. Okay, so you can choose between American English or British English. So you can decide as a teacher, you can tell them, now click on the British flag, now click on the American flag, so you can use. It has this feature for instructions, especially when you need help, it can translate the instructions. I do not suggest to use it frequently. Let the students to discover, to find out that. If you tell them what will happen with some of them, not with all of them, is that they will immediately go to the translation, and that's not really a good idea. It's there because it's needed, but I don't think it's a very good idea. So we have the lingos. ¿Qué puedo hacer con los lingos? Well, with your lingos, you can make your avatar. As I explained, it was blonde, now it's like a brown, and it has blue jeans or something blue, a t-shirt, domino is there, no, it's blurry because we haven't worked yet. You can put glasses or change the colors, and guess what? Some of them are free, but some of them you need to pay lingos. So there is this connection of the gamification about how to do that. So if you want to have long hair, you need lingos. If you don't want to have, if you want to have this is for free. Y si ahora se quieren peinar de ese lado, well, it costs 10 lingos. And some of you want a cap, it costs lingos. So the encouragement is to play with the activities so they have more lingos and more lingos. We call the activities learning games. This is the connection. If you tell them, and we use the remote control for that. So suggestions, teachers. These are intended to be presented by the teacher during the teaching moment. I'm gonna show you how we suggest to work with, using the lesson plans that are prepared for you. Then the teacher model shows the activity. Les tienen que decir, miren, en esta actividad, you are gonna do this, you are gonna do this, the repetition, etc. Every activity has instruction, but it's an excellent idea that the teacher models, shows the students, even online, like I am doing to you, then the students go and do that. And then the teacher motivates, invites, encourages her students to practice and learn. That's the word, practice and learn, not as a homework. If you tell them, como tarea van a hacer todas las actividades, well, I don't think it's, I think the word homework has another meaning. So we strongly suggest to use practice the games. So this is the feature of the games here. If the student has done the activities perfectly, it is a star. Another way to motivate them. So students want to see many stars, but in order to get the stars, they have to answer it correctly. What happens if they don't answer at the first intention? No problem, they can repeat as many times until they get the star. That's the other idea. But be careful, because now at home, if the students feel some pressure, they can request help from somebody in order to get the stars. And that's not fair. It happens, I have to tell you that. But basically, we encourage the students to do all, of course, on their own. So what happened in every activity? So there is the initial instruction. Where are they? So you click in the instruction disappears, and it is. So it means this exercise is going to be repeated. The question, where are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times is repeated activity. Instead of you saying, where are they, Juanito? Where are they, Pepe? Where? The system that, so the student has the opportunity to listen at least 9 times the same question. If they don't know how to read and write, this is for the youngers, for example, there is no problem because if they click, the pronunciation appears. So once it's the kid understands the instruction and select here, then you need to click where you think it is, and it will appear. Remember, American or British English. Then, when we select the answer, decimos, where are they? At the sports ground. Are you sure? And here is the confirm. Here it is. And you can enlarge the screen here, como en los videos de YouTube, exactly the same. And then you see the complete image. Here you can play the audio, and you listen again, and you can repeat the instruction until they understand. This is when you model to the students how they are going to be doing it. So the student need to finish the activity. There is an immediate feedback with a sound. I'm going to show you in a minute. They use two sounds, one for the correct one and the other for the not proper one. A yellow line at the bottom is advancing, telling you how many exercises are there. So it shows you the advance of the student. When the student finishes, the system leaves the activity. The student will lingos according to the number of correct activities answered. If they have correct all of them, of course, the number of lingos that are won are bigger than the others. So this is when the student finishes. In this case, this student got 10 lingos. The score is 5 up to 5. And if they want to repeat the activity, they click on this arrow. If they want to close the activity, they click on the X button. So the feedback, how they get feedback, again, they want to repeat, they click on the arrow. If they don't want the feedback, they do in the X box. ¿Qué pasa con las actividades que ya hicieron los chicos? They are saved. What you see at the top is the current lesson. What you see in the bottom are the lessons that the student have already studied. You want to do a review? Do not assign a new lesson. Before an exam or before something, you just want to do a review, send it again or tell the students, practice my family, practice hello lesson, etc., etc. You cannot send it again because the lesson is already there. You just give the instruction. You don't assign a new lesson. That's another way to give feedback. You don't have to prepare extra materials. You just tell them, practice again, get more points, get more lingos. So students get excited to win because they want to win more lingos. But your students are learning and practicing, and you can see in the oral practice or the activities they do, send them new games. It means select a new lesson, start the process. Se van a la plataforma, entran, revisan la lección, dicen este plan si me gusta, este nivel si lo alcanzaron, I select the lesson, I download the plan, lo estudio, lo preparo, doy la clase, les modelo, les digo here in the classroom, now I send the lesson. Super fácil, no? I think. Okay, when a new lesson appears, it's only one here and the others are blurry. Why? The student needs to complete one in order to answer two. They are not open. Otherwise, students, when they find difficult or not attractive or even, I cannot say boring, but they don't find interesting the activity, they would like to do activity 2 or 3, but no, they cannot, they have to do in order. Otherwise, this is a sequence. If not, they can get lost and frustrated. So when they are new, it means there is no stars. They are blinking. They can be blocked, as I already explained to you, and they are not open until they finish the activity you present, you do. So how you review what they are doing? The students can see how they are doing. Yes, they know because they see how many lingos. They see because they see stars. So you have to explain the meaning of lingos, the meaning of the stars. Por esa razón no necesitan un 5, un 10, un 8. if you explain in the first very session, students will understand that rather than getting a number, they are getting a symbol that represents that. And where they can see that, or the parents, where they can see that, because the parents are going to tell you, ¿Cómo va mi hijo? Enséñame su boleta. I need a 10 because my kid is almost bilingual. Well, you click on this icon, on the stars, and then it's going to show you how many activities they have done. Then you also can see the nationality of the student, and when we see digitals, we're going to see that, and the time zone, because in your case you have a different time zone that we have, and if they have digital friends in the future, also is going to be important to know the time zone. This is it. Also, they can select their interest, things they like, and they can change. Here I selected basketball, bowls, and tennis. But I can change that. I click there. There are some for free. And again, there are some others with lingos. Again, it's encouraging the students to win lingos so that they can select and change whatever they have in their interest section. As I said, some of them are free, some others need lingos. Reports, ¿y cómo le van a hacer para entregar calificaciones? And the state coordinator is going to ask you the marks. I'm sorry, Maestra Laura. No, the platform does not give numbers, but gives you reports. So you click on the report generator in the teacher's dashboard, and you select your group. In case you have more than one group, you have to select first the school in case you work in 2 schools. You select the class, Sexto A, Sexto B, whatever. You can get a report for all your students. And now we have different kind of reports. We have report by lessons or report by units. And very soon we are going to have even by level. So at the end, for example, at the end of this school year, you can have a report of how much the student developed during these months that you are going to be using the platform with your students. So select the school, select the class, el grupo, the students, all the students, or some of the students, and the type of report, by lesson, by unit, and then later by periods. If one student finishes a level, you can get a report by level per student. So we are going to show you this. So this is what we selected. La escuela se llama Mexico TD Demo, Primero A, lesson report, the name of the lesson, and there is a green generate report. We click on that. And here you are the report. La escuela, el grupo, and you can download it in PDF or Excel. En inglés se dice CSV. If you have questions and want to know what happened here, that's the reason why the lesson plan is here. But remember that you can download the plan on your computer, so you have it there. So you need to report to someone. You don't have to create anything because the platform gives you the report. So how you are going to explain this, it's up to the policies of the PRONI Sonora. How you are delivering the marks is up to you. We cannot tell you that it can be the only way to mark the students. For me, as an English teacher, it reflects that Hector is doing well. No. In activities 1 and 3 is getting the achievements, but not in activity 2. Mela is doing very well because it's green. Chispa has this, but has problems. We need to find the words, and every state is doing in a different way. So we represent it through colors. But for me as a teacher, it means that activity 2, maybe I didn't explain it well. Maybe it's not the platform, maybe it's not the children, maybe it's me. My explanation was not clear enough. All right? So we can download it as a PDF, as a Excel or CSV, or you download the plan again if you need it. So I'm going to stop here because we are going to enter into the digital worlds. Questions about how to enter as a student. Questions, teachers? No questions? So far, more or less, no good, because if we don't practice, it's complicated. I understand that. But if you have a question, remember, I'm going to be here. So let me show you how an account of a student works. So you can see very quickly a real student account. So as you are going to create it, as I explained you here in the presentation. So let me share with you my screen. So, okay, so we say this is a real account. So this is a CST with a surname, and the password for this account is, I have to be very careful. I use so many passwords. So it's a real account. So when you enter for the first time, this is how it appears. Can you see here? This is the username. Every time you enter, wherever, whoever, in any way you do, always Domino is going to be here. It greets you with a sentence. You click and it disappears. This is a new account, as I show you. As you can see, everything is blinking because this is a real account. I'm going to change the wallpaper. Where I said I can change the wallpaper. ¿De dónde lo puedo cambiar, teachers? How I change the wallpaper, the color of the format. Anybody remembers? No? Okay, let's click.
With the brush.
With the brush, I click it on the brush, and look, all the colors we have. Let's make it yellow. Let's make it purple. Let's make it green. Let's put some pineapples. Oh no, watermelons or donuts. You see, you can change it. That's it. I mean, there is, it looks like there is no English, but you can tell them now your wallpaper should be green or should be in English so they can follow your instructions. So I change my wallpaper. Everything changes. Also, I can change. Este es lo primero que les sugiero que hagan con sus chicos. Les enseñen a entrar y les digan, a ver, haz esto exactly as I am doing. The likes, choose my likes. Okay, instead of a notebook, I put a hamburger. Everything. I can change a guitar. I can put a camera. That's it. That's just plain. And you can practice the name of the object. So with your intention and with your experience, you can use in the English platform all the time, most of the time. What else can you do with this? Okay, let's go to the activities. Lingos, zero lingo. Because it's a new account, it's a real account, and no lingos. Click again and disappear. ¿En qué icono nos vamos a las actividades digitales, teachers? ¿Con qué icono? Somebody help me? Ahora sí abran su micrófono.
With the eye, I'm not sure.
With this one?
I can see, let me see.
With this black, like black? I want to go to the activities.
I got confused with the other, the eye is in the other, in the teacher's one.
Don't worry. That's why we're here. Okay, activities or games for the students, we click here. Let's see what happened. Here you are. This is the account. This is the first time that the student enters. The only lesson he has is lesson number 1. What's your name? Ya le dieron la clase, él ya a la hora que entra acá ya va a saber lo que tiene que hacer aquí, porque ustedes ya lo revisaron, ya vieron el plan, ya le dieron la clase. Daría clic aquí, pero es una cuenta real, so I don't want to move it. But I'm just going to click once so you can notice.
Look, listen, and repeat.
The instructions. You click and instructions disappear. Right? Okay, so the instructions, ya no me acuerdo qué dije.
Look, listen, and repeat.
I click on the flag and the instruction is repeated. Look, listen, and repeat. So you have to click on each person. ¿Alguien se acuerda del nombre de uno de ellos? You remember the names? I presented to you. No?
Yes, I remember the name of Rose.
Okay. Rose is
Mackenzie, Mr. Milan, and Matthew.
Thank you. Who is Rose? Is she or is she? The one with domino or the no domino?
I think that is the girl, the other one, this one, the one that with t-shirt, yes.
Okay, okay, with domino.
Hi, my name's Rose, and this is Domino.
If the students can read and write, you can emphasize on the sentences here. If they cannot read and write, you don't emphasize on that. You emphasize on the listening.
Hi, my name's Rose, and this is Domino.
Okay, in your demonstration class, we can enlarge the screen.
Hi, my name's Rose, and this is Domino.
So when you do the demonstration, you can practice as many times. Okay, now I'm gonna play again. Se los voy a poner otra vez. Listen, pongan atención. Okay, lo escuchamos y después me ayudan repitiendo. Okay, a ver, me ayudan. I am the teacher, you are the students. Okay, listen, listen.
Hi, my name's Rose.
¿Qué dijo? A ver, repitan, por favor.
Hi.
My
name is Rose.
Hi, my name is Rose.
Excellent. You are excellent student.
And this is Domino.
¿Cómo se llama el perrito? This is
Domino.
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 No lo entendí, teacher. No. Lo ponemos otra vez. ¿Quiere que lo ponga otra vez? Yes. Because you are a super active teacher.
Hi, my name's Rose, and this is Domino.
Okay, so you know what I mean? And then you do one by one of the members. This is activity 1, level 1 from the platform, right? Did I win lingos? No, because I didn't finish the activity. The activity is still blinking because I have not finished the activity. I want to leave this. ¿Con qué icono me salgo si me pierdo? Home. And I go back. All right. Que ya la maestra me dijo cómo hacer digipals, que todavía no explico digipals, don't worry. Tendría que ver aquí en la campanita. Si tengo mensajes, no messages, so nothing from there, right? Quiero buscar amigos de digipals, voy a dar aquí, todavía no explico digipals, pero aquí me van a aparecer quiénes son mis amigos. Y ustedes, teachers, son los que van a recomendar los amigos entre sus alumnos, para que haya más seguridad y demás. Les voy a explicar todo lo que sucede alrededor de digipals. Muy bien. All right. Ok, entonces, second part of the presentation. Ya les mostré cómo entran como alumnos con slides. You need to create a fictitious username con your name or with one of your daughters or son names, and you can play around because it's a different account. And you will see and practice until you have the usernames and passwords of your students. All right? Okay. Okay. Let's go to the next part. Okay. So what is next? Let me again share my screen. Here we are. All right. Good. Ya llegamos a Digipulse. Ahora sí. Finally. Tanto que hablamos de Digipulse. What is Digipulse? Digipulse is a social network in the platform. It's made for students between 6 and 12 years old. It's very safe. The system, the artificial intelligence in England, checks. There are 3 rules, but let's explain first how you become Digipulse. ¿Cómo entran? Automatically, when the username and the password of every kid, they become Digipulse. How they find Digipulse? When you share the information of other students. Can they find another Digipulse in the world? Yes, if they click in the globe, they will see kids, students from different countries. Can they interact? Yes. Is it safe? Yes, because it has 3 rules. Rule number 1 is only English. Rule number 2, no bad or offensive words. Rule number 3, no personal information. No email addresses, no phone numbers. When someone do that, for example, that says, hola, my name is, the word hola is recognized as a strange word and the system will block it. So the message will not be sent. If there is a bad word, the system will again block it and there is no message at all, right? So the digital section is, you see the globe here. There are emojis representing the countries and nationalities where Little Bridge is used. Right now in Uruguay, they are using Little Bridge, so you can start connecting with students if your students are able to read and write in English. With short phrases, not really. They are not going to write an essay or a paragraph or a book or an article. I mean, social language. What is the good thing of the Digipulse? It's real English. If they write, my name is, or name is, it's correct because at the end it's communication. But this is when the teacher intervention is required because you can access the student's account and you can help them. You can become a Digipulse of your students. That's the way you practice. En lugar de dejarles 10 veces la pregunta, where are you from, where are you from, where are you from? Les dicen, you have to write to 5 friends these 2 questions. How many times, again, has the student the opportunity to practice? 10 times with real English. And if they feel confident enough, they can look for another friends, like, for example, this one that is not from Mexico. Remember that with the flag, we identify the nationality of the kid that is there, right? How you find DigiFriends or Digipulse? You click here in this circle, as I showed you before in the account, and there you can find who is close to your interest. Esa es otra forma que trabaja la inteligencia artificial. Si es un chico que le gustan los deportes o la comida o algo, o colores, la inteligencia artificial va a hacer un match y le va a sugerir amigos. Again, there is no problem. It's very safe, but it has to be guided by you. I recommend to start working with Digipulse after 1 month. Once the student is familiarized with the platform, then dedicate 1 lesson to start working with Digipulse. It's a very good idea. This is my system. My system recommended those friends as digipals. All of them are from Mexico, of course. And I have chatted. They are teachers because we made a project here in Mexico in order to prove if this platform works in our context. And it works. Definitely it works. We can add friends. We can look for friends. We can see who is our friend already. And we can ask somebody to be our friend. What is the purpose of digipals? Practicing writing with a purpose. Porque podemos hacer, en mis tiempos, yo fui profe de inglés, in another century, and my way to keep practice my students was to write many times different ways. That it doesn't work. Here, it's a real use of the language, and it's immediately, and it can be done immediately, right? So that's the sense of the digipals. So you can answer, you can like the post, you can answer back, etc., etc. So you can keep a conversation, but in writing. This is a written expression. Okay, very good. Summary. This is the video. All that I have explained, we have a video to remember, okay?
Welcome to this Little Bridge training session. We will be covering 2 products today, the student platform and the teacher dashboard. Our products are a collaboration between us and our greatest education experts. That's you, our teachers. If you have any feedback on our new products or any ideas you would like to share, please get in touch. We would love to hear from you. And of course, if you have any questions or need any support, you can email us anytime and we'll be happy to help. Let's begin with the student platform. You can access the student platform on any device, desktop computer, laptop, tablet or smartphone. Students log in at littlebridge.com. They just click on login, then enter their username and password. The first thing the student will see is their profile page. The profile page is a place for students to express themselves. Students can customize their avatar, change their wallpaper, and display their interests. You'll notice that there is a price tag on all of these items. These price tags refer to lingos, the Little Bridge currency. Students earn lingos by completing activities or by messaging their digipals. This is because we want to encourage students to both learn new English skills and then practice them in real conversations with other young learners around the world. You'll notice the silhouette of this little dog sitting next to your avatar. This is Domino the dog, everyone's favourite character in Little Bridge. Students who earn lingos every day for a predetermined number of days in a row will earn a domino who will appear here on their profile page. We call this a streak. You can find out how many days you have maintained a streak by tapping on the flame icon in the toolbar. You can buy clothes for your domino too. Domino appears throughout the product, offering you helpful hints about what to do in each area of Little Bridge. Whenever you need help, just tap on the domino icon in the toolbar, and, if support is available, you'll see a pop-up with some useful information. The domino support pop-ups and other key text throughout the product are available in multiple languages. To change the language settings, tap on the menu icon, then go to Settings. You can select a language, either British or American English, that is the version of English you want to learn. You can also select a support language if you like, which is the local language in which you can receive help and support. At the time of this video, we have Spanish available as a support language. However, more languages are on the way. If you don't choose a support language, we will set your support language to be the same as your teaching language. Now you've customized your avatar and profile, you'll want to make some digipals. Tap on the globe icon to see real children from around the world. You can tap on a pin to visit that child's profile page. When visiting another digipal's page, I can do various things. See the local time in their country, see the name of their country, send them a digipal request by tapping on the plus icon, like their page by tapping on the heart icon. All of these features are designed to help students make connections with other children around the globe. I can also send them a message. I can either start a new thread by clicking on this button, or I can reply to a message by opening a thread and replying to a specific message. Students can also like messages by tapping on the heart icon. Safety is very important to us. That's why all messages on the Little Bridge platform are moderated twice. Firstly, all messages pass through an automated filter, which detects if a message contains any banned words. The messages that pass the automated filter are then moderated by real humans, who check that the messages abide by our community guidelines. The key Little Bridge community rules are very simple. Do not share personal information, all messages must be in English, and you must be kind. You can also navigate to other DigiPals profiles using the DigiPals tools. On your profile page, tap on the DigiPal tile. You can now see 4 options. Suggested DigiPals. This is a list of DigiPals selected for you by the Little Bridge algorithm. Search for a DigiPal. This is where you can search for a DigiPal by typing in their username. My DigiPals. This is a list of your DigiPals. Pending requests. This is a list of DigiPal requests sent to you. As mentioned, we reward children with Lingos, the Little Bridge currency, for completing activities and for messaging their DigiPals. If you tap on this icon, you will see we also reward children with trophies. You can win trophies by sending messages to your DigiPals and also by completing activities. Now we've looked at the social features, it's time to look at the award-winning English language content. Tap on the video game controller to access the training menu. You will see 2 distinct sections on this screen. The top area is the current lesson. Here you can see the title of the lesson. This is the group of activities the child is currently working on. These are either assigned to a student by their teacher or automatically assigned to a child by Little Bridge. Below the current lesson is the archive. This is where all the activities from previously assigned lessons go. They are grouped into topics. When a teacher assigns a new lesson, the activities from the current lesson go into the archive. The new lesson appears at the top of the screen and becomes the new current lesson. You can reassign lessons as many times as you like. If the teacher or school chooses not to assign lessons, but prefers to let students work through the program at their own pace, Little Bridge will deliver lessons automatically. Students will have to achieve a score of 50% in each activity in order to move on to the next one, and will have to complete all the activities before they can move on to the next lesson. The Little Bridge content is unique, in that the entire language course is built around one place and one set of characters. Throughout the 600 plus activities, you will learn about a fictional town called Little Bridge and the characters who live in it. We cover all the key skills: listening, reading, speaking, and writing. All activities begin with Domino, providing you with an instruction in English. If you have a support language selected, you can tap on the flag in the toolbar to see and hear the instruction again, this time in your support language. Some activities have questions delivered through audio. You can tap on the question mark icon to hear the question audio again. You can exit the activity anytime by tapping on the X icon. Students win Lingos for every activity they complete. You win Lingos no matter what score you get. We want to incentivize students to practice as much as possible. Of course, you win extra Lingos if you get 100% of the questions correct. You can see that some of these activities have stars on them. Students that complete an activity and score 100% win a star. You can only win 1 star per activity. This makes it really easy for students to look through their archive and see which activities need extra revision. These stars also contribute to a student's achievements, which we saw earlier on the profile page. Now we've looked at all the key features in the student platform, let's look at the teacher dashboard.
Okay, so we have seen both things. Okay, now I'm going to stop sharing And I'm going to give you another 5 minutes break, teachers. So I'll be back in 5 minutes, please. In 5 minutes, we are back, right? Meanwhile, I'm going to be checking the attendance with the next 25 teachers. So you can go and grab a glass of water, coffee, whatever. I'm going to be checking again. This is group 1. One moment, please. Right. Okay, let's continue. Evelyn Eunice. Gracie Maria.
Present.
Thank you. Edgar, now you are here, Edgar. I hope Edgar is still there.
Edgar Islas? Edgar?
Yeah. Edgar Castro.
It's not me.
Okay, here, Edgar Castro.
Yeah, thank you, teacher. Gisela Trinidad.
Here.
Thank you. Gabriela de la Rosa. Brenda Estrella.
Here, Brenda here.
Claudia Angélica Garavito.
Sorry, Gabriela Garces, I'm here.
Gabriela
Garces.
Gabriela de la Rosa. Maybe you are later. Okay, sorry. Claudia Angélica, no. Aaron Ariel.
Right here.
Okay, thank you, teacher. Edgar Eligio Islas, ahora sí es.
Now,
Thank you, teacher. Okay, Dulce María López.
Here.
Thank you.
Present.
Thank you. Cristina María Márquez. Filiberto Mexia.
Here.
Thank you, teacher. You work in 2 schools?
Yes.
Okay, that's why you have 2 passwords.
Yes.
Thank you. Daniela Giovanna?
Here, Daniela.
Thank you. Gustavo Romero? Gabriel
Here, Gustavo Romero here.
Okay, thank you. You also have 2 passwords, right?
Must be, but I don't know. Let me check.
Okay, please check. Gabriel Barreras?
Present, I'm here.
Thank you. Azucena Barrios?
Present. Here.
Thank you. Francisco Javier Bejarano?
Present.
Cintia Guadalupe?
Present.
Thank you. Romelia Borbón? Samantha Esquer? Humberto Félix? Rocío Guadalupe, I have already checked. Estaba acá. Rafael. Okay, thank you.
Rocío Guadalupe.
Yeah, thank you, teacher. David Rafael. Frania Margarita.
Present.
Thank you. Héctor Osvaldo.
Present.
Thank you. Juan Adolfo.
I'm here.
Thank you. Beatriz López.
Here.
Thank you, teacher Betty. Cristian Enrique.
Here.
Thank you, teacher. You also, I know you have only 1 password. Very good. Okay. We have 1 minute left. Let me save my list. Final part.
You finish?
Excuse me, mister. I didn't hear my name. I don't know if you called me.
No, I'm still missing like 20. Don't worry.
Okay, that's fine.
And if you miss the first part, then you please stay after we finish so we can complete. So, you know, more or less, how to enter as a teacher. 1 link, username and password. You know how to enter as a student, but you don't have username and password. You have to create it. And you have the link that is littlebridge.com. As a student, you have to create an imaginary account to enter as a student, because the account you have is as a teacher. Remember, that's a big difference. Can you enter as a digital with your account? Yes, you can enter, but then you need friends as a teacher, right? Remember. Digipals, the sense of the digipals, how important is. Now, the final section, 2 issues. Number 1, y si no funciona la plataforma y no sé cómo hacerle, how can we help you? Let me explain the type of help you are going to be receiving from us. So very quickly, okay, so you have the lesson plans. The plans are connected, as I explained at the beginning, with the social environments. We did a match analysis in which level, which content of Little Bridge is matched to what level. So most of the contents in Little Bridge are matched at some point with the contents of the current syllabus for Prony. So what is the sequence of Little Bridge? Number 1, the class, but the class needs preparation. Do you need to write a plan? No, because the plan is in the platform. You can download it. Can you modify it? Yes, you can with your experience, but you have to be careful about the achievement. What is the purpose of that plan? Because if you modified it too much or you don't do all the activities, maybe you don't get the achievements with your students. It's important that before sending the lesson to your students, you model them. You show them what to do. As I presented in the student account, what you need to do is to tell, this is what you are going to see in your platform. Ustedes lo van a demostrar y lo van a enseñar desde su cuenta como teachers, porque lo pueden hacer. Desde ahí es donde les van a mostrar cómo hacer. You don't get lingos. The kids do not get lingos just by watching. That's why they need to do on their own account. They need your assistance and support to understand the mechanic of the platform. So it's important we are going to work on the session 0. You need to provide feedback, what is happening. How, or from where you provide feedback? From the reports. And then, if your students are ready, you send a new lesson. First you study it, you teach it, etc., etc. As it's a circle. The platform is not automatic. My advice, do not teach or do not send a new lesson if most of your students are not understanding the previous one. Then you can do a review, working in a different way, but at the end. As far as I understand, if not correct me, the platform is to help you with your program. The platform is not trying to substitute anybody. And I was to say it at the end, but I want to say it now. You can have the best platform, the most expensive in the world, but it needs us. It needs the teacher. We, the teachers, are the ones who make alive even a piece of paper. You can have a very excellent pet or toy or material, but if you don't use it properly, it doesn't work at all. So teacher is still there. Your role as a teacher is super important. What skills are developed in the platform? All of them, listening, reading, speaking, and writing, depending on the age, depending on the level of the students, right? So what you have to do first, go to the plan, download it, study it, analyze it. This is page 1, unit, lesson, learning outcomes, grammar, and vocabulary. This is for you, it's a summary for you. Page 2, the summary, how many minutes in each activity, what skill, what materials, and maybe you decide this is the way you can plan your lessons, in how long, how many times in a week you are going to be using the platform, so you can create a calendar of from now on until the end of the school year. And you say, well, I'm going to work with level 4, level 5, level 6, level 1, etc., the level you are going to be working with, to know how many lessons you are going to be working with your students. And this timeline, this division of the timing, it helps you. Then comes the plan, activity per activity. You read it, you analyze it, and when you see a picture of the platform, you need to model. Entran a la clase, siguen los pasos y les dicen, okay, look. Y tienen que enseñarles a los chicos what they are going to be doing in the platform. That's what we call model the learning. Otherwise, some students will do it by intuition, but not necessarily because they are understanding what's the purpose of the activity. Then, when I refer to this image, when in a plan appears this, it means you need to go and review this activity and show to the students now that you are online or in a distance education. If you are face-to-face, this is when you present the activity in the classroom to the student. If you see this is a material, this is an extra material. The extra material has suggestions, but you can change it, and has the paper and also with the answers. So you are all covered. You don't have to produce really any material at all. So again, that is the sequence of the plan. And again, here, another time you need to enter into the platform as a teacher, not as a student. How you give feedback with the reports, right? Okay, so you can give feedback in the language. You can give feedback in the skill. You can give feedback in the activities in the platform because maybe they know, but they did not understand the mechanics of the platform. Or in writing, because then maybe they are making a mistake that if you don't correct it on time, it can be there forever. I mean, it's very difficult. Remember, if nobody correct us, we keep doing, writing, or saying in the same way, and it's very difficult to take it away. And the use of the language, when it's proper, how to use please, excuse me, thank you, pay attention, etc. That's the real purpose, not only of this platform, but your job as a teacher, that at the end the children use the language as a means of communication. If your students are developing the achievements, select a new lesson. If it is the opposite, that you see that most of the students are not getting there, you need to review, you need to teach in another way, but using the platform as a tool. If you consider that the tool is an important part, that you like it, but use it because it's there. And it's intended, the government, your government bought it in order for you to help you. So again, you go all over the process, reviewing and analyzing. You have questions, let me tell you how you are going to be contacting us. For you, my first suggestion is practice. You need to practice a lot. When you're ready, when you feel ready, you need to start working with your students. How we are going to be giving you support? Every month, we are going to be offering seminars about how to teach children online, about some other resources, but related to that. They are for free. This is part of the service that the company, Django Maniaco, offers to you as an English teacher. So it's going to be planned. Normally, these webinars are going to take less than an hour or maximum an hour. But it's a way for you to exchange ideas and to learn something. It's going by invitation. If you have questions from now on, we have this. This is Mesa de Ayuda. Super important. I'm sure you will have so many questions. This is a very short session. We are just giving you a very quick idea, but we are trying to be as concrete as possible. How you can contact us through Mesa de Ayuda. This is an important, please write down this link, because this is the way you can contact us. Copy it, because this is the way you can contact us if you have questions. Even the username and password, if it is not working, you click on this website, you enter, this is the website, you click on Soporte, and then you need to create a ticket. Ticket means report. You click on Abrir un nuevo ticket. It opens. And then you have to write your username and password. Which one? El mismo que están utilizando para ingresar a la plataforma de Little Bridge, porque ustedes son teachers. Entonces tienen que entrar ahí a través de ese. All right. This is your username, your password, and then you start the session. And then you tell us your situation. Se va a registrar su nombre y su correo. Necesitamos su correo porque si no, ¿cómo les vamos a dar seguimiento? Entonces, este es el correo de una teacher. There's Daniela, that's the email. And then she tells us the kind of problem they have. Académico pero no aparece la lesión, académico no aparecen las instrucciones, académico no comprendo, blah, etcétera, etcétera, etcétera. So you tell us the situation you have. Immediately someone who is working somewhere in this world receives the email and gives you help. We work from 8 a.m. in the morning to 7 p.m. and from Monday to Friday only. So a period of waiting is if you write an email at 2 p.m., maybe in 2 or 3 hours you will receive an answer, maybe before, it depends on the situation. If you write a report, you open a ticket on a Friday, 6:30 p.m., you will receive an answer on Monday. We do not answer on Saturdays, on Sundays. That's for respecting your free time and also respecting a schedule. But we try to answer as soon as possible, depending on the problem, of course. So you indicate the topic, you make a summary, then you are super specific. If you have an issue in a specific activity, you have to copy the URL, la dirección de esa actividad. Cada elección, cada actividad en Little Bridge tiene un número que le llamamos la URL, the URL, and you put it there. It's super fast. Instead of saying, I cannot do these activities in level 1. There are 24 lessons in level 1. There are so many activities, so it will be very hard to find exactly the activity. So please be as specific as you can. For example, now, if you cannot enter or log in with your password and username, obviously you cannot enter here. So I'm gonna give you plan B, because the username and password for Little Bridge as a teacher is connected to this. If you cannot enter there, neither you can do here. So we receive the ticket, and immediately we are in contact with you as soon as possible. Okay, but you cannot enter, or the platform is not working. Send us an email, copy that email, please. For example, the teachers who cannot enter right now, you send an email. We are on time, and my colleague Andrea, that lives at 7 p.m. will receive your email and maybe will help you immediately. Otherwise, your answer will be for you in your email tomorrow. So copy that email too. That's plan B. Plan A is access to the website that I show you. Doesn't work, go to plan B, that is the email you have there, right? Okay, so what is next? We are almost finished, teachers. Hold on for a minute. So, ¿qué sigue? What is next? Practice, 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 practice. But meanwhile, before you send in the usernames and password to the children, give session 0. What is session 0? Present and explain the platform to your children. Hagan algo como lo que yo hice. Seguramente a ustedes les va a quedar súper mejor. Enséñenles qué hace, cuál es Domino, cuál es el avatar con su cuenta. Enamórenlos de la plataforma. Tell them how many times they are going to be working with the platform. Tell them about the lingos, about the prices, about Domino, about how fun is learning through a platform. I hope you are learning from me a lot, so you will be able to give this session 0. Play around with some of the tools. As you are going to be practice also, before sending them a lesson, please ask the students to play around, to work with the tools, to practice, to practice, to practice. They cannot erase. Just be careful. When you give the username and password, keep you a file for you, porque si no les va a pasar lo que a todos. Se nos olvida el password, o ponemos un 0 en lugar de la O, or we forget it. And then We can have many emails, and it will take us a long time to answer you. So please try to be the administrator of your students, as we are the administrator for you as well. So this is a connection. Some of the students are going to be enjoying, for some others are going to be a little bit difficult, but I'm sure for them it's going to be a different way. You told me at the beginning that you know Kahoot and you know Duolingo or other applications. Well, now your government has bought this platform for you to help you, not to substitute you. Again, no platform in the world, no book in the world can substitute the teachers. We are living that situation. Yes, now we need technology, and it's so important, but technology will not change us, will not substitute us in long time. So when your student receive the username and password, practice with them at least 2 sessions. Okay, a ver, entren a su plataforma, sale, yo los dirijo. On to username and password. Exactly what I have been doing with you. No lesson, no English. Practice. Some of them are going to be very fast in entering and logging out and changing the wallpaper and doing this and blah, blah, blah. They are going to be, some others will take time. Practice in entering and logging out. Modify the avatar. Changing the color of the wallpaper. Do a lot of things that not necessarily are related to teaching to them English. So when they get familiarized with the platform, then now teach your lessons and then go and practice and teach and use the platform as many times as possible. That's what I call the session 0, right? Okay, so conclusions. Study, analyze, teach your first class, but practice. When you finish, assign it to the kids if they are ready or not, or review the process again. And we are going to be here for you through the email to the website to help you as that. So, teachers, thank you very much. That's a very short training sessions. I hope you can get the 3 main ideas: how to enter as a teacher, how to enter as a student, how to create or enter as a digipol, and how we can help you. I'm going to be here for many things: answering questions, checking attendance as a good teacher, and if you need your username and password right away, wait a minute, and my homework to you, this is homework. Create an imaginary username when you enter as a teacher. Once you enter as and can create, con ese usuario y contraseña, que lo anotan por ahí para que no se les olvide, entran como alumnos and practice, right? Cuando reciban los usuarios y contraseñas de sus chicos, entren con una cuenta de ellos y practiquen. And when you feel ready, because I don't know when your authorities are going to tell you to start working with the platform. This is up to Maestra Laura in Sonora. We don't know when you are ready. So this is time for practice.